Hi everyone. Today I'm going to talk about one of the important things in R, basically in R programming, that is subsetting a particular data type. So here I'm going to talk about how to subset a vector and how to subset matrix and how to subset a data frame. So after that you can generalize these options in order to use them in your own applications. So first I have created a vector which has 4 observations, so it is named as x. Then so here you can see there are 4 observations. So and here in this vector, if you want a subset that has only if you want a subset that has the observations which belongs to specific positions, as an example here I have got a subset where the positions of 3 and 1, that means I need this first observation and the third observation. So if you want to do something like that, then you can use this square brackets, and inside that you can use the C function and you can specify the positions that you want in this subset. So if I run this code, you can see, so this is basically our x, and here you can see the subset. Now it consists the observation which is at the third position and the observation which is at the first position. Okay, so similarly if you want to sort the data, so I think most of you know you can sort the data using the sort function, but using this subsetting option also you can sort the data by using like this. So first you can specify the x and this square brackets like this, and inside that you can use this order function. If you write it as order x like this, then it will sort the values in ascending order. Okay, and here I think the next important thing is this one, that means you sometimes you might need to get a subset in such a way that by omitting the observation. So here I am going to get a subset by omitting the first observation and the third observation. So if you want to do something like that, what you can do is you can write the code in this way, and if you run this you can see it has omitted the first observation and third observation. So basically if you want to omit something, you can use this negative symbol, and then you can specify the positions of the observations that you are going to omit. Alright, so next in this command here I am going to subset based on a logical value. That means when you consider logical values, there are two values, right? The first one is a truth and the other one is a false. This T belongs to the truth and F belongs to the false. So now I am going to subset this, I am going to get a subset of this vector x using these logical values. So here I created a logical vector which has the length same as the length of x. So here I specify logical vector as true, true, false, false. That means this true means I need that observation in that position, and this false means I don't need that observation in that position. So if you run this code, you will see it has given you the values which belongs to the first and second position, but it has omitted the observations which are in the third and fourth positions. So based on this logical vector also you can get a subset of the observations. So this thing, that means so up to now we specified how to get the observation based on a position. So now using this subsetting option, we can subset the observations based on a condition as well. So now I am going to subset the observations in this vector based on this condition. That means I need all the observations in this vector x where the value of x is greater than 3. So if you run this code, you will see so now you can see over here it gave you the observations where the x value is greater than 3. So our initial vector is this 2.1, 4.2, 3.3 and 5.4. so the first value is less than 3, so it has ignored that value, and but the other three values are greater than 3, so they have included those three values in our subset. So this is our subset. So when you gave it as like this, that means here I got a subset where all the observations are greater than 3. So this is so these are the basic ways of subsetting a vector. So now I'm going to talk about how to get a subset of a matrix. So first I have defined this matrix using this matrix function. So if you run this command, and this is how your matrix look like. So it has 3 columns and 3 rows, and the numbers are from 1 to 9. And here I have gave the column names for this matrix using this column names function. So here I have given the column names as ABC. So if you run this code and if you revisit your matrix, now you will see the column names. So now I need to get the subset of first 2 rows. In order to get the first subset of first 2 rows, what you have to do is first you have to specify the matrix name or the object that you created for your matrix, and using the square brackets, and here you have to specify the rows that you are going to select, and after that you can choose this you have to put this comma. This comma, that means the all the things which is before this comma is specifying the characteristics for the rows, and all the things that you are specifying after this comma will characterize some things based on your columns. Okay, so as an example here, if you want to get a subset of rows, that means here I am going to select the first 2 rows of this matrix. You can run this code, then you can see it has gave you the first 2 rows. Likewise here, if you want to get the first 2 columns, what you have to do is you have to specify this 1 to 2 after this column, after this comma, like this. So if you rerun this code, now you can see it has given you the first 2 columns instead of first 2 rows. So the only difference that I made was I just put this to this 1 to 2 after the comma. That's the only difference I did. Okay, so like we did for vectors, here also we can specify or we can get a subset based on the logical values. So here I'm going to select the first row and the third row using the logical value. So if you run this code, you will see that it gave you output of a subset that it consists of the first, because our initial vector is like this. So here they have given you the subset of the first row and the third row. So in matrix, since there are rows and columns, is like a 2-dimensional vector. So now you can get subset based on 2 conditions. That means you can specify one condition for the rows and the other condition for the columns. So here I am going to get a subset where the rows should be from the first and the third rows, and the column should be from the column B and column A. So this is our initial vector A, and if you run this command, you will see now it has given you an output or a subset where these values represent to the first and third rows and first and second columns, because this B means the second column and A means the first row. So basically it gave you a subset of this row and this third row. That means 1 and 4 and 3 and 6. Since I specified a column B as my first observation, first value, here they have given the first observation as 4 and the second observation as 1. And similarly, the first observation as 6 and the second observation as 3. So this is how you can get a subset of the matrix based on two conditions, that such like one condition applies for the rows and the other condition applies for columns. So now we can generalize these things that we learned so far for a data frame, because in real life, when you are doing data analysis or programming, in most of the cases you will deal with data frames. So first I have created a data frame like this using this data.frame option, this X. So it has 3 columns, X, Y and Z. So first I am going to run this code, and this command means I am going to get a subset of the rows, because the data frame is also like a matrix, right? Because it has rows and columns. So here I am going to get a subset of rows where the X value is equal to 2. So this is our data frame which has 3 rows and 3 columns. So I am going to get a subset where the X value is equal to 2. So basically if I run this code, I should get this second row as my output. Okay, so if I run this code, you will see I will get the second row as my output. Okay, and also like in vectors and matrices, you can get a subset of rows and columns. So here in this command, I am going to create a subset where which consists of the first row and the third row. So if you run this code, you will see so this is your initial data frame. So here after you ran this code, you got a subset of the first row and the third row. So as I told earlier, you can get a subset of columns as well. So using you can treat this data frame as a matrix. So if you treat this as a matrix, and you can do a similar kind of thing that we did for matrices. So here I put this comma, and after the comma I specify the column names that I want to get. So if you run this code, you will see it gave you a subset where it consists of the first column and the third column. So you can do the same thing like using this command as well. Okay, so this is about the subset in R, the methods of subsetting in R. So I think the things that you learned today, you can generalize into your application.